In this video, we're going to be learning about the law of cosines for triangles. So just like before, if we have a triangle that has angles A, B, and C, and sides opposite A, B, and C, the law of cosines says that A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine of A. It also has similar equations for B squared and C squared. So for B squared, we have A squared plus C squared minus 2AC times cosine of B. And for C squared, we have C squared is A squared plus B squared minus 2AB times cosine of C. So you might be realizing that this is pretty similar to the Pythagorean theorem. And it is, and if this is a right triangle, then this turns to 0, so we get C squared equals A squared plus B squared. So in this first example now, we only have two sides and an angle, and we're able to find the rest using law of cosines. So in this case, we work with the angle that we're given. So we're going to be working to find this side A. So we're going to start with our first formula up here. So we have A squared is equal to B squared. So here's B and here's C. So 24 squared plus 27 squared minus 2 times 24 times 27 times the cosine of 107. And luckily, you're able to use this formula on any quiz and test. You don't have to memorize it. So then, if we plug this, what's really nice is that we can plug this straight into our calculator, as long as we're really careful with our parentheses and we are in degree mode. When you do, you get A squared is equal to about 1,683.9, which means A is 41. Now what's really nice is from here, you're able to use law of sines. Now that you have an angle in the side opposite, you can use law of sines for the rest. So for this video, I won't do it because it just takes forever, but you would be able to find B or C using law of sines. The last case is when we have a triangle where we're just given the three sides. So we can't use law of sines for this because that depends on at least having one angle across from one side to find the rest. So again, we have to use law of cosines. So let's say we decide to find angle A. So in this case, we'll say A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC times cosine of A. So here's B, here's C, and here's A. So now A squared, 17 squared, equals 10 squared plus 11 squared minus 2 times 10 times 11 times cosine of A. Now, these problems aren't as nice because notice now what we're trying to solve for is way over here. It's not just we can plug it straight into our calculator. So let's simplify as much as we can. So we have 289, and then we'll do 10 squared plus 11 squared to get 221. Then we'll do 2 times 10 times 11 to get 220 times cosine of A. And now we're going to have to try to solve for cosine of A. So if you put a little box around this, let's try to solve for it. We first subtract 221 from both sides to get 68 equals negative 220 cosine of A. And now we're going to divide both sides by negative 220. So we get cosine of A equals negative 0.309 approximately. Now our A is trapped inside the cosine function, so we use the inverse function to get it out of the function. So we say cosine inverse, and now we switch these two spots. So we say negative 0.309 is equal to A. And we find our angle A is about 108 degrees. Now from here, you could go use law of sines to find out what angle C and angle B are.